Okay. All right, let's get started. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Training Tuesday. Um, yeah, for those of you that are joining for the first time, just a quick reminder as to what we do here. We just take 15 minutes a day, Monday through Friday, to hit the pause button on life, on our busy days, and just to make sure that we intentionally and deliberately activate certain parts of our neurology and biology to make sure that we increase the odds of being able to feel as positive and as we possibly can. And on some level, there's nothing really that magical about it. It is, it's something about just having the structure and accountability to do so. And that's what we do here in this group. So today's theme is attention training because it's Tuesday, and I like this quote here by Bob Marley just to set the tone. Some people feel the rain, others just get wet. And of course, my interpretation of what he's referring to here is, the ultimately the event is the same. You might be outdoors, your water's falling from the sky, your clothes are getting wet, your face is getting wet, and for some of us, this is a profound, magical experience. And for others, it's just a real annoyance. I've had a few of those annoyance type experiences this winter when it was just, cold and wet and dark. And I was definitely just getting wet. I was not really feeling the magic of the rain. And what makes the difference there has everything to do with attitude and attention. So hence the theme for today. So wherever our energy flows is where our attention goes, right? So as it's raining, if all of my energy goes to focusing on how annoying this is and how my new shoes are getting wet and how I'm going to have to figure out a way to dry my jacket when I get home. If all of my energy goes into that, then of course my attention will follow suit, and everything I see from there on out will be tainted with a kind of negativity. And that's just, again, that's just human biology. It's nothing I'm doing wrong. It's just the way things work. Whereas if I can maintain a sense of positivity or just a different attitude and focus my energy on how amazing is this? The reservoirs are being filled up. I don't have to water the plants. My car is being washed, so on and so forth. Then my attention will have this tendency to drift in a direction of my choosing. And so the reason I chose this picture here with this, father and infant is little kids are amazing teachers in that way. You have these beautiful creatures. I have two of my own. And when they were little, of course, there were days when you'd be tired. It'd be in the middle of the night and you'd be up and tired. And there's this tendency for this energy to start waning and just feeling anything but positive about it. When in reality, if you could take a step back, how lucky to have these beautiful, healthy kids in my life. And so anyway, again, this is a muscle that we can flex if we practice it frequently enough. And there are two aspects of attention that I want to focus on. They are focus and concentration. So really, overly simplistically, focus is our ability to direct our attention towards some aspect or some object of our choosing. So again, if it's raining, am I focusing my attention on the fact that my new suede shoes are getting, destroyed in this rain and this is awful and so on and so forth? If that's what my focus is on, well, then of course everything that I'm, my consciousness will be fixated on that. Or I can choose to focus on some other aspect of that experience. So focus is like that flashlight. Where am I shining it? And then concentration is, how long can I maintain the beam of that flashlight of my focus on the object of my choosing? Because naturally, my brain, my mind, there's this natural tendency to want to keep jumping from one thing to the next. And before you know it, the thing you were focusing on is no longer the object of your attention, and your mind has drifted and you're focusing on something completely different. So both of these are kinds of superpowers. The first one is being able to choose what to focus on, and then actually maintaining your focus on what it is that you've chosen over a period of time is ultimately what determines this sense of where the energy is flowing. So I thought let's practice that today. And so the question I will pose to all of you is, in this moment, so for the next 7 or 8 minutes or so that we have left, what would you like to focus on? And can you make this a deliberate choice, not something that just happens to you, but actually say, no, I want to spend a few minutes today focusing on this aspect of myself or my life or whatever it might be. And then let's see what it's like to sort of flex that muscle and maintain that concentration on this object that you've chosen. So let's start by closing our eyes. Maybe take a deliberate deep breath in. Exhale all the way. Just settling into the here and now. Noticing the body, sitting, breathing, resting. Trying to keep this as simple as possible. So just slowing down. And then I'll reinsert this question into the space. In this moment, what would you like to focus on? There's no right or wrong answer here. No good or bad. Don't overthink it. Choose someone or something, some aspect of your life, and simply set the intention and say, I'd like to spend a few minutes really steeping myself in this thought or this memory. Just remembering wherever your energy flows, wherever your attention goes. So just noticing how, as you focus on whatever it is that you've chosen, notice how your whole organism, your mind, your body, your energy is directed towards this. And the longer we wait in silence, the greater the likelihood that the mind will want to move on to other objects of attention. And when that happens, just gently refocus, choose, bring your attention back to what is important to you right here, right now. And this refocus is intended to be a gentle yet very determined refocusing. So it's not filled with berating or frustration or irritation. But it's simply noticing, oh, my mind wandered. I'm going to choose to come back to what's important to me in this moment and settle back into that. I'm just remembering that the intention here is to answer the question in this moment, what would I like to focus on? And whatever it is, the more embodied you can be about it, the more powerful it will be. So noticing that as you're focusing on this person, this value, this memory, this thought, whatever it might be, see if you can really notice how this registers or how your body holds this object. One of my favorite quotes from a well-known meditation teacher is that the most important thing is to remember the most important thing. That's kind of what we're doing here is we are choosing to remember and focus on something that's important to us. Again, if you notice your mind bouncing all over the place or having difficulty maintaining focus, just know that that's completely normal. That's what the mind does. So what we're doing here is we're simply flexing this proverbial mental muscle to say, yeah, I understand. That's what the mind does. And the more I intentionally focus and try to maintain my focus, the easier it becomes for me to stay on target, stay with things that are important to me. And go ahead and take a deep breath in. Exhale all the way. And hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And deep inhale through the nose. Exhale all the way. And then again, hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Come on back to the session. Allow your body to breathe normally. And see if in the background you can maintain some sense of connection to what it is that you were focusing on. You know, this idea of remembering the most important thing. throughout the day, whatever that is for you, um, is something that if you assign a little bit of energy or background attention to it, uh, can yield really significant dividends in terms of your mood, your overall well-being. So anyway, I hope this little mini attention training session was useful. Hope to see you all tomorrow on Wednesday, same time, same place. Have a great day, everyone.